Hi everyone, welcome to Study with Roma. This channel is created to help students, parents, or anyone interested to learn math, and this is episode 14. Today, we will talk about types of proportion: direct proportion, partitive proportion, and inverse proportion. We will also have some examples. Direct proportion shows that an increase or decrease in one quantity produces the same rate of increase or decrease on the other quantity. For example, 1 milk tea costs 100 pesos. That is 1:100. 5 milk teas cost 500 pesos. And that is 5:500. As we increase the number of milk teas, the cost also increases. Another example for direct proportion. A boy can run 1 kilometer in 15 minutes. How far can he run for 45 minutes? Our proportion is 1 kilometer is to 15 minutes equals n is to 45 minutes, where n is the distance he can run for 45 minutes. To solve this, step 1, get the products of means and extremes. The product of means is equal to 15n, and the product of extremes is equal to 45. Step 2, find the missing term. Product of means equals product of extremes. So 15n is equal to 45. To solve for n, divide both sides by 15. 15n divided by 15 is equal to n, and 45 divided by 15 is equal to 3. To check our answer, check the product of means. 15 times n is equal to 15n is equal to 15 times 3, which is 45. The product of means is equal to the product of extremes. Therefore, n is equal to 3. Partitive proportion. This is a type of proportion wherein a whole is divided into parts that is proportional to the given ratio. Let's have an example. In a class of 50, the ratio of boys to girls is 2:3. How many are boys and how many are girls? There are two ways to solve a partitive proportion. Solution 1. Step 1. Get the sum of the terms. Our ratio is 2:3, so our terms are 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Step 2. Get the amount of each share. Number of boys is 2/5 of 50. The sum of terms will be the denominator. So this is equal to 2/5 times 50, which is 20. And for the number of girls, 3/5 of 50, which is 30. For our second solution, let n be the greatest common factor of the two numbers. Our two numbers again are 2 and 3. So we have this equation, 2n plus 3n is equal to 50, the total number of students. So 5n is equal to 50. Then solve for n. Divide both sides by 5. 5n divided by 5 is equal to n, and 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10. So the number of boys is 2n, which is equal to 2 times 10 equals 20. And for the number of girls, 3n is equal to 3 times 10, which is 30. Let's have inverse proportion. This is a type of proportion wherein a change in one produces a change in the other in an opposite direction. That is, an increase in one quantity produces a decrease in the other quantity or vice versa. Let's have an example. If 12 men can paint a house in 5 days, how many days will 20 men complete the work? There are two ways to solve the problem. First, the indirect setup. The original number of men over the new number of men is equal to the new number of days over the original number of days. So we have 12 over 20 equals n over 5. Then we will cross multiply, so 20n is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 20, so n is equal to 3. Second solution, direct setup. For this, we have original number of men times original number of days equals new number of men times the new number of days. So we have 12 times 5 equals 20 times n. 60 is equal to 20n. Then divide both sides by 20 to get 3 equals n, or n equals 3. Let's have some examples. Example 1. Each guide goes along with 3 tourists. If there are 4 guides, how many tourists would they bring? This is an example of a direct proportion. As we increase the number of guides, the number of tourists also increases. So our proportion is 1:3 equals 4:n. To solve this, step 1, get the products of means and extremes. The product of means, which is 3 times 4, is 12, and the product of extremes, which is 1 times n, is 1n, or n. Step 2, find the missing term. Product of means equals product of extremes. So 12 equals 1n, which is equal to n. So n is equal to 12. Example number 2. 3 numbers are in a ratio 2:3:5. What is the largest number if the total is 100? This is an example of a partitive proportion because the whole is divided into parts, which is 2:3:5. So we have two solutions, and the first one is step 1, get the sum of the terms. 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals 10. Step 2, get the amount of each share. First number is 2 over 10 times 100 equals 20. Again, the sum of the terms becomes our denominator. So second number, 3 over 10 times 100 equals 30. And the third number is 5 over 10 times 100, which is 50. For our second solution, let n be the greatest common factor of the 3 numbers. And then we will have 2n plus 3n plus 5n equals 100, which is the total. And then we will simplify this. So 10n equals 100. Solve for n, divide both sides by 10. N is equal to 10. Okay, so our first number is 2n equals 2 times 10 equals 20. Second number is 3n. Substitute 10 to n, we'll have 30. And the third number is 5n, which is 5 times 10 equals 50. So the largest number is 50. For our last example, we have 3 men can complete a project in 3 weeks. How many men will be needed if the project is to be completed in 1 week? This is an example of an inverse proportion. So if we decrease the number of weeks, then the number of men must increase. So we have two solutions. The first one is indirect setup. Original number of men over the new number of men is equal to the new number of weeks over the original number of weeks. So 3 over n equals 1 over 3. Cross multiply, we have 1n equals 3 times 3, so n is equal to 9. The number of men will increase from 3 to 9. Solution number 2, direct setup. Original number of men times original number of weeks equals new number of men times new number of weeks. So 3 times 3 equals n times 1, which is 9 equals n, or n equals 9. So that's it for today's lesson. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you next time. Bye!